So I'm going to do a video about Gemmy's quality issues, or some of the like cutting corners that they do lately, and I'll talk about some things I like wish that they would do that would be better. So let's get started. So one thing, so this is very important. Like sometimes like the fabric like is too thin. And so like it just like easily like you could like see small holes in it. Sometimes it gets holes in it and other times not. And then another thing is that very important here is like colossals or large inflatables that have underpowered fans. They put cheap junk in these fans, or as fans in these inflatables, that, and even though it sometimes inflates them, other times it doesn't. Like I had a pumpkin Scrooge inflatable some time ago that I had to return back to Walmart because the fan was too small. It was a YF60A for a 12-footer. And the thing wouldn't inflate on its own. The Reaper inflates on its own okay, but like it takes a long time. It doesn't inflate very tightly. I wish I had a 200 tornado fan in it. Because like they need to, if they put something like 16 feet or larger, they need to put a tornado fan in it. Especially a 200 for this one. And then apparently there's 20-footers that have fans that are meant for 8-footers. I don't know what's wrong with these people. They're putting fans that are meant for 8-footers and they take 10 minutes to inflate. How do they get away with that? How? How does Gemmy get away with putting YF60s in 20-foot inflatables? Crying out loud. Gemmy has to stop that. And the cheap fans. The cheap fans are just junk. They blow up all the time. They don't work properly. And then Gemmy's putting them on inflatables that cost $80 or $100. They're supposed to be, at the very most, putting them on inflatables that cost $30. That's what I think they should do. Because they're cheap fans and they blow up. So anyone should not expect good quality from an inflatable that has a fan that fails all the time. And plus the LED lights. The LEDs, they cannot be replaced. Once they go, then that part of the inflatable is out. The inflatable, it just has one single LED. Instead of like at least put 3 LEDs in each area, like on each like node or whatever you use to connect it to the inflatable. Because like the inflatable is going to like be all dark and useless, and no one can see it in the dark. Because the LED will be dead. They're terribly unreliable. Well, yeah, I know they're energy efficient and all, but like they're just terrible at being replaced. They're almost impossible to replace, especially the short circuit ones. I hate how there's like expensive short circuit inflatables with the irreplaceable LEDs, and they can't be replaced, and the short circuit effect is like the selling point of those inflatables. So now short circuit is going to be out in one part of that inflatable, and now that inflatable is not going to be as good because the light is out. It's broken. And the kaleidoscopes. I love the kaleidoscopes, but like especially for some inflatables, they're not mounted correctly. Like for example, this Reaper has the kaleidoscope mounted behind the fan, so now like it's casting a shadow. It's casting a shadow on the front at night, which is ugly. And also you can see like the wires for the C7s. And it's just chaos. And then like sometimes like some inflatables that get with the lamp, like the light globes cracked or broken, and that's also a problem. And then I also get some with like holes in them, and then like then the stakes, sometimes like maybe like sometimes I have problems with newer inflatables and their metal stakes because they're much thinner and may have like cheaper metal that is not as good or not as strong, so it bends and breaks whenever I try to beat it into the ground with the hammer, because they're supposed to keep it in. And also they like put like, I wish they would like put like use plastic bags that can be resealed, so I can put so people could put the stakes in them again. Because like I have to get my own plastic bag over there, for example, to reseal the inflatable stakes, to keep them out away from the inflatable and getting it dirty. And also, I wish that the drapes like were better quality, because like especially like the thin cloth here, and like it gets like stuff stuck in it, it gets dirty, it gets nasty, I have to pick it out, and sometimes I have to risk damaging it. It's just such a pain to do that. I just want to enjoy my inflatables, not have to like pick like grass out of them. And also another thing is, I wish that like the fans would like somehow like have some sort of filter on them, so, or whatever, or a screen to like, so stuff doesn't get sucked in. Because like I hate when the bugs, because sometimes I find dead mosquitoes in my inflatables. They get sucked in, then they die in there, and it's just disgusting. I don't like it. It's just nasty. I wish they would do something about that. Like either like putting like, and also another thing to bring up is that they should also put more zippers in it, in everything. They put a few more zippers around the place so that it's easier to access. Because like I want, like there needs to be more zippers, because I want to be able to clean out the inside of them too, like vacuuming them out, whatever. Because there's junk that gets sucked inside the fans, and then they get like all vacuumed, or like not all vacuumed. What was I saying? Like they get like all nasty inside. I have to deal with that. And here's the other thing, like if they, because like the cheap fans, like they're putting cheap fans on 9-footers. It's already bad enough putting them on 7-footers. The cheap fans, I don't like it. Please stop, Gemmy. Please just stop putting cheap fans in the inflatables, or at least in the big ones. Just put the cheap fans in the $20 inflatables, or the $15 inflatables, or the 4-foot ones. Because putting like a cheap fan in a 9-footer, Walmart sells inflatables that have a cheap fan in them, and they're 9 feet tall, like 1 foot shorter than the 10-footers, which have a base fan in them. And I don't get it. I don't get it. If they, because here's the thing, if they put like a cheap fan in a 10-footer or larger, I don't know. I'd probably quit. I'd probably have to give up. I just lost faith, and I would just lose faith in Gemmy. It'd just be like, I just have to give up on Gemmy, because they're just like terrible if they do that. Because like a 20-footer, come on, like you have to put like a tornado fan in there. I think the reason why they put cheap fans in inflatables is that because honestly they are quite power efficient. Like they don't use that much power. Like I tested the cheap fans. They'll only use like 15 or 12 watts, while the tornado fans use like over 100 or 150 or something. So they use a ton of more power. But like, I'd rather have an inflatable that inflates well and doesn't have a fan that blows up, so I don't have to buy another one or buy a new fan that probably doesn't even like, that is not even on the market because it's outdated. Because these things are collectibles. Some of these are only made once. And I wish that Gemmy would take more care about that. And yeah, it sucks that they do that. But still, I still like Gemmy's inflatables. It's just I'm just complaining about their quality and whatnot. And yeah. Anyways, if you like the video, like it and subscribe. Thank you.